Hello, children. How are you? I hope you all are hale and hearty. Well, I'm Satinder Kaur, and today I'll be taking up lesson 6 from Social and Political Life for class 7. And the name of the lesson is Understanding Media. Children, I'm sure you all watch TV, listen to radio, or read some magazine or newspaper. You may also be surfing the internet quite often to find out something or the other. But, children, do you know that there is one word that is often used to collectively refer to the radio, TV, newspapers, internet, and several other forms of communication? And this word is media. In this lesson, we shall talk about media. What makes it work? And what are the ways in which it affects our daily lives. So, let's start and try to understand what media is. Children, media is the plural form of the word medium, and it describes the various ways through which we communicate in society. Because media refers to all means of communication, everything ranging from a phone call to the evening news on TV can be called media. TV, radio, and newspapers are a form of media that reaches millions of people or the masses across the country and the world, and thus they are called mass media. Mass media can be classified into two categories. Number one, print media, which includes newspapers and magazines. And second, electronic media, which includes TV, radio, internet, etc. Now, there is a connection between technology and mass media. The technology that mass media uses keeps changing. Children, it would probably be difficult for you to imagine your life without cable television and internet. But do you know that it is a recent phenomena? These have been around for less than 20 years. Changing technology or machines and making technology more modern helps media to reach more people. It also improves the quality of sound and the images that you see. But technology does more than this. It also changes the ways in which we think about our lives. For example, today it is quite difficult for us to think of our lives without television. Television has enabled us to think of ourselves as members of a larger global world. Television images travel huge distances through satellites and cables. This allows us to view news and entertainment channels from other parts of the world. Most of the cartoons that you see on television are mostly from Japan or the United States. We can now be sitting in Chennai or Jammu and can see images of a storm that has hit the coast of Florida in the United States. Television has brought the world closer to us. Now, media needs a lot of money. The different technologies that mass media uses are expensive. Just think about the TV studio in which the newsreader sits. It has lights, cameras, sound recorders, transmission satellites, etc., all of which cost a lot of money. In a news studio, it is not only the newsreader who needs to be paid, but also a number of other people who help put the broadcast together. This includes those who look after the cameras and lights. Also, as we saw earlier, the technologies that mass media uses keep changing, and so a lot of money is spent on getting the latest technology. Due to these costs, the mass media needs a great deal of money to do its work. As a result, Most television channels and newspapers are part of big business houses. Now, how does media make money? Mass media is constantly thinking of ways to make money. One way in which the mass media earns money is by advertising different things like cars, chocolates, clothes, mobile phones, etc. You must have noticed the number of advertisements that you have to see while watching your favorite television show. While watching a cricket match on TV, the same advertisements are shown repeatedly between each over, and so you are often watching the same image over and over again. Advertisements are repeated in the hope that you will go out and buy what is advertised. Do you know, children, the cost to advertise on a TV channel varies from rupees 1000 to 1 lakh per 10 seconds depending on the popularity of the channel and time. Apart from commercial advertisements, these days we get to see a number of social advertisements too. Social advertisements refer to the advertisements made by the government or private agencies that have a larger message for society. Their purpose is to create awareness and not to make money. Now, children, can you recall any social advertisement that you have seen on TV or in theatre? Yes, the advertisement giving the message of no smoking is a social advertisement. Think of some other social advertisements that you have come across. Now, let's move further and talk about the role of media in a democracy. In a democracy, the media plays a very important role in providing news and discussing events taking place in the country and the world. It is on the basis of this information that citizens can, for example, learn how government works, and often, if they wish to, they can take action on the basis of these news stories. Some of the ways in which they can do this is by writing letters to the concerned minister, organizing a public protest, starting a signature campaign, asking the government to rethink its program, etc. Given the role that the media plays in providing information, it is important that the information be balanced. Let us understand what we mean by a balanced media report by reading two versions of the same news event. First, we have News of India report. The headline is Crackdown on Polluting Factories. Protesters block roads and disrupt traffic. Violent protests by owners and workers brought the city to a standstill today. People getting to work could not do so on time because of huge traffic jams. The owners and workers are protesting the government's decision to close down polluting factory units. Although the government did take this decision rather hastily, the protesters have known for quite some time that their units are not legal. Moreover, the levels of pollution in the city will be greatly reduced by this closure. Mr. Jan, a well-known figure in the city, said, "With our city gradually becoming India's new business hub, it is important that it be a clean and green city. Polluting factories should be moved. The factory owners and workers should accept the relocation being offered by the government instead of protesting." Now, let's read this same news report from India Daily. The headline is Closure of Factories Causes Unrest. The closure of 1 lakh factories in the city's residential areas is likely to become a serious issue. On Monday, thousands of factory owners and workers took to the streets to strongly protest this closure. They said that their livelihoods would be lost. They say that the fault lies with the municipal corporation because it continued to issue licenses for new factories to be set up in residential areas. They also say that there were no adequate relocation efforts. The owners and workers plan a one-day city bandh to protest against this closure. Mr. Sharma, one of the factory owners, said the government says that it has done a lot to relocate us, but the areas they have sent us to have no facilities and have not been developed for the last 5 years. Now, children, if you had read only one newspaper, you would only know one side of the story. If you had read the News of India, you would most likely think of the protesters as a nuisance. They are disrupting traffic and continually polluting the city with their factories leaves you with a bad impression about them. But on the other hand, if you had read the story in the India Daily, you would know that the protests are because a lot of livelihoods will be lost if the factories close because the relocation efforts have not been adequate. Neither of these stories is a balanced report. A balanced report is one that discusses all points of view of a particular story and then leaves it to the readers to make up their minds. Writing a balanced report, however, depends on the media being independent. And independent media means that no one should control and influence its coverage of news. No one should tell the media what can be included and what should not be included in a news story. An independent media is important in a democracy. As you read above, it is on the basis of the information that the media provides that we take action as citizens. So, it is important that this information is reliable and not biased. However, the reality is that media is far from independent. This is mainly because of two reasons. The first is the control that the government has on the media. When the government prevents either a news item or scenes from a movie or the lyrics of a song from being shared with the larger public, this is referred to as censorship. There have been periods in Indian history when the government censored the media. The worst of these was the emergency between 1975 and 1977. While the government does continue to censor films, it does not really censor the media's coverage of news. Despite the absence of censorship by the government, most newspapers nowadays still fail to provide a balanced story. The reasons for this are complicated. Persons who research the media have said that this happens because business houses control the media. At times, it is in the interest of these businesses to focus on only one side of the story. Media's continual need for money and its links to advertising means that it becomes difficult for media to be reporting against people who give them advertisements. Media is thus no longer considered independent because of its close links to business. Besides this, the media also tends to focus on a particular aspect of a story because they believe this makes the story interesting. Also, if they want to increase public support for an issue, they often do this by focusing on one side of a story. Media also sets agenda for us. Let's see how. The media plays an important role in deciding what stories to focus on and therefore decides on what is newsworthy. For example, the annual function at your school is unlikely to make the news, but if a famous actor is invited as the chief guest, then the media might be interested in covering it. By focusing on particular issues, the media influences our thoughts, feelings and actions and brings those issues to our attention. Due to the significant influence it plays in our lives and in shaping our thoughts, it is commonly said that the media sets the agenda. Some time back, the media drew our attention to alarming levels of pesticides in cola drinks. They published reports that indicated the high level of pesticides and thus made us aware of the need to regularly monitor these colas according to international quality and safety standards. They did this despite the government's resistance by boldly declaring that colas were unsafe. In covering this story, the media positively helped us focus on an issue that affects our lives and one that we might not even have been aware of had it not been reported in media. There are several instances when the media fails to focus on issues that are significant in our lives. For example, drinking water is a major problem in the country. Every year, thousands of people suffer and die because they do not get safe drinking water. However, we seldom find the media discussing this issue. A well-known Indian journalist wrote of how the fashion week in which clothes designers show their new creations to rich people formed the front page headlines of all the newspapers while several slums were being demolished in Mumbai the very same week, and this was not even noticed. As citizens of a democracy, the media has a very important role to play in our lives because it is through the media that we hear about issues related to the working of the government. The media decides what to focus on, and in this way it sets the agenda. The government can at times prevent the media from publishing a story, and this is called censorship, as we have already discussed. Nowadays, media's close relationship with business often means that a balanced report is difficult to come by. Given this, it is important for us to be aware that the factual information that a news report provides is often not complete and can be one-sided. We therefore need to analyze the news by asking the following questions. What is the information I am learning from this news report? What information is not being provided? From whose point of view is the article being written? Whose point of view is being left out and why? Now, let's move further and talk about local media. Recognizing that the media will not be interested in covering small issues that involve ordinary people and their daily lives, several local groups have come forward to start their own media. Several people use community radio to tell farmers about the prices of different crops and advise them on the use of seeds and fertilizers. Others make documentary films with fairly cheap and easily available video cameras on real-life conditions faced by different poor communities and at times have even given the poor these video cameras to make films on their own lives. Another example is a newspaper called Khabar Lahariya, which is a fortnightly that is run by 8 Dalit women in Chitrakoot district in Uttar Pradesh. Written in the local language Bundeli, this 8-page newspaper reports on Dalit issues and cases of violence against women and political corruption. The newspaper reaches farmers, shopkeepers, panchayat members, school teachers and women who have recently learned to read and write. So children, that was all about the lesson. Now it's time to take up a few questions related to the lesson. First, we have some questions with options and you have to choose the correct option. Ready? The first question is, which one of the following is print media? And the options are newspaper, TV or radio. And the correct option is yes, it's newspaper. Now let's move on to the second question. What is the main source of income of media? And the options are advertisements, articles or general news. And the correct option is yes, advertisements. Now the third question. Which word is used to refer to TV or radio program that is widely transmitted? And the options are publish, broadcast or censorship. And the correct option is it is broadcast. Let's move on to the next question. Government control over media is known as, and the options are censorship, independence or emergency. And the correct option is censorship. Very good. Let's move further. Now we have some sentences and you have to tell whether these sentences are true or false. The first sentence is, television has made us think of ourselves as global citizens. Is it true? Yes, it is true. The second sentence is, a balanced report discusses only one point of view or one side of story. So, is it true or false? Yes, it is false because a balanced report discusses both sides of story. Now, the third sentence, publish refers to the newspaper report, articles, etc. that are printed in newspapers, magazines and books. Is it true or false? This is absolutely true. Now the last sentence of the day. Media has no link with democracy. It is false because we just talked about the crucial role that media plays in a democracy and how it sets the agenda. So children, with this we come to the end of today's video. I'm sure you liked it and got to know a great deal about media and the role it plays in a democracy. You also learnt about independence of media and censorship. That's all for today. I'll be back with some more interesting videos. Till then, stay healthy, stay happy.